And good evening, everyone. We'd like to welcome you to another segment of AAU Teen Talk TV, where we are doing the Building Bricks Young Men's Leadership Show. And we're just happy to be here. Unfortunately, I'm alone today. I am Herman Dunham Jr., your host, and my co-host was unable to be here today. So for that, I want to say, Ted, we miss you, and we're looking forward to seeing you next month. So today's show is going to be a little different. I think we're going to get more into the Building Bricks. We're really going to understand what the Building Bricks does for young men, and kind of uncover some things and see exactly, how we're working. So out of all the guests that we've had in the past, I would really like to say that these two young men that are here today are probably the most important guests, simply because they're in their process of growth and development. They haven't gone through the careers and the other things that finalize the creation of a man or career or life. But these young men, they're growing plants, and we're definitely very, very fortunate to have them with us. We have Philip here, who I'm going to allow to introduce himself, and Chris. Charles, I'm sorry. Okay, Charles. So, Phil, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
My name is Philip Anderson. I'm from Jamaica, Queens, New York.
Okay.
Born and raised.
All right.
I'm 19 years old, and I currently go to college. I go to Morehouse College, which is in Atlanta, Georgia. My major is kinesiology, and I want to use that degree to go into physical therapy and become a physical therapist.
Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. And Charles, you want to introduce yourself?
Charles Carter. I'm from Long Island.
Okay.
I live here, and I go to Longwood District. I go to Longwood High School.
Okay.
And yeah.
Speak up a little bit, Charles.
All right.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 15.
15. Okay. And Philip, you're
19.
19. 15 and 19.
4-year difference.
So we have the root and the I want to say the stem. What do they call the middle of the tree anyway?
Yep.
The stem. I know it's the bark is the outside.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
Just leave it at that.
Yeah. Nonetheless. So we do have a 4-year difference age group here, and high school, college mindset. Okay, and so we're just going to keep it, kind of loose. I want you guys to relax and, just kind of flow with all that's going on in life. We really want to talk about direction. So I'm going to pose the same question to you guys, and, you answer however you choose. And I'm going to begin with Charles, because I'm really interested to know, as a 15-year-old, what is it that you see for yourself, or something that you want out of life? How do you see yourself, and what's going on moving forward?
I want to be successful.
Okay.
How I see myself in the future. I want to be successful, and I want to just be able to do everything I want to do when I get older.
Okay, so is there any flight plan, like, that I want to be a fireman, I know I want to be an engineer, I know I want to be, is there any main goal right now that you see? Because it may change, but...
I mean, I do have one goal, but it's only in college. It's as far as college. I'm going to play D1.
Okay.
To play in UConn College. That's about it.
Oh, you want to go to UConn?
Yeah.
Okay, and play, meaning?
Play college basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to be nice.
I am nice.
Oh, you are nice.
I am
You
nice.
think you can take me?
I can take you.
Because I used to do the thing, man, and my man Ted, he'll tell you if he was here, But anyway, I'm a little slower now. So okay, so Phil, what are you doing? The Morehouse man, you're there, and so what's next? What's your major again?
My major is kinesiology, which is basically physical education.
Okay.
And there's so many things you could do. You could be a gym teacher, personal trainer, athletic trainer. There's so many things. I want to be a physical therapist.
Okay.
Right now, I made it to college, so now my next goal is to get myself out there in the workforce, or
Okay.
start my own practice.
Okay.
As far as the direction goes, I'm going in many directions trying to get to one route. I'm networking with certain group of people, my studies. It's a lot of things going on, and it's never easy. But one day at a time.
Okay.
One day at a time. That's all I can say.
Okay. So I'm gonna stay with you for a minute, Philip. Just listening to Charles, do you think that at 15 you had that drive, that same kind of mindset?
At 15, no, I didn't. Ninth grade, when I was 15, I was about ninth grade. I was just playing around mostly, because I'm in a whole new environment. My high school wasn't near where I went to middle school, so I went to completely. My high school was my middle school was 208, PSI's 208. It was on Commonwealth and Glen Oak.
Okay.
So I was housing with Q 266 and QHST.
Okay.
And I had to take 3 buses to get there where I lived. And it was on the coast of Long Island, so it took me about an hour to get there.
Okay.
My high school was 20 minutes where I live right now, currently.
Right.
So I had to kind of jump from old friends to make a whole bunch of new friends who I don't even know.
Okay.
And ninth grade, I was so busy caught up on that my studies paid for it. I didn't take school seriously. I didn't really want to go to school.
Right. Just trying to do the social thing.
Yeah, I was more the Friday guy.
Okay.
We just hang outside on a Friday, do nothing, just chilling. Everybody knows me in the neighborhood, so
Right. Okay.
But
okay.
in terms of ninth grade, I didn't have the same determination as Charles did.
Okay. All right. So, Charles, is that is any of that where you are, or is your mindset just strictly, I want to be a success. Once I determine exactly what it is that I want to do, I'm just going to go ahead and pursue it, and that's it. That's the bottom line. So are you that focused are you in the ninth grade?
Yeah.
Are you that focused as a ninth grader?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure of what I want to do. Once I find out what I want to do, once I get older, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take that path and go down that path and keep pursuing what I want to do.
So, what are some of your talents or strengths, like skills? Are you left-handed or right-handed, or
right-handed.
what do you do extremely well?
I'm right-handed and I could go left-handed. And I'm
Okay.
extremely well at driving.
Okay, all right. What about anything outside of basketball?
Outside of basketball, actually, I'm kind of good at social studies in school.
Social studies?
Yeah.
Okay. What about math?
Math, I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let me ask you this: do you think that you have the ability to accomplish anything that you set before you, not someone else,
Yeah.
but whatever you set before you?
Yeah, I do.
So you're saying that if you decided that you wanted to be an accountant, that you would become an accountant. If you
Yeah.
wanted to become a doctor, that you would become a doctor.
Yeah.
So my real question is, what does that feel like? Like, what's going on inside of Charles that gives you that level of confidence that some adults don't have?
I can't even answer that.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't even answer that.
Okay. All right. But you feel it
Yeah.
and you know it.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. To be able to tap into yourself and know that you have the ability to accomplish, everything. That's amazing. So Phil, college, Morehouse. You just left high school. I want to take you back a little bit. You just left high school, right?
Oh, yeah.
And first year Morehouse. Tell Charles what it was like.
Oh man, it's funny because I went to my high school yesterday.
Okay.
But college, man, is very different from what you see on TV, where they just focus on the party aspect.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest, in my opinion, the party aspect, they have it pretty much down packed.
Okay.
As the good and the bad,
Right.
they pretty much have it down.
Right.
But college is not. It's different for everybody. But for me, college is a place where I could grow and be my own man.
Okay.
Growing up in my household, since I was always the man of the house, everybody was always dependent on me.
Okay.
It was always, Philip, I need your help. Philip, I need you to do this, do that. But when I went to college, everybody, my mom and my dad were out my head. It was just me now.
Okay.
Philip could focus on Philip.
Okay.
And the first year is the hardest because, time management is the arch nemesis of every college student.
Right.
Because you never have enough time.
Right.
you know, from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock passes like that.
Right.
And you could sleep. I have to time my naps. I can't turn off my phone and take a nap. I have to time my naps.
Right.
And the workload the college teachers give you, oh man. You know, one teacher give you a paper due one day. Another teacher, you got to study for a test, is due the same day. You got a project for another teacher due that same day. You have to prepare for 2 other tests on that same day. And, you know, and it's just, how do I deal with this? Because,
Right.
you know, I'm taking 15, 16 credit hours.
Okay.
So that's about 5 classes. Each class is worth 3 credits each, and that one PE class is worth one credit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And you know, it's just, how do I deal with this?
Okay. Okay.
But
You should see how Charles is looking at you now, because he's like really interested. Like, oh, wait a minute,
Yeah.
no one told me about the time management
No one-
aspect and all of these.
no one
okay.
ever does that. That's
Right.
something you just have to go through. You have to
Right.
experience that.
Right.
Even on high school, you experience it on some level. You just
Right,
don't know.
right. Minor stuff.
Because attention is minor stuff.
Right.
But when you go to college, it's all on you.
Right. Okay.
I mean-
so how do you think you fared?
I fared, you know, I got my grades back. I got a 3.0, and I'm
Okay.
very happy.
Right.
'Cause
Congratulations.
thank you. And a lot of my friends, they didn't even make it till homecoming.
Right.
On the last day when we was packing to go home, some dudes was telling themselves, "Yo, I ain't gonna be here next year."
Right.
And it shows you that college is not about passing a test. It's about it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Right.
And you know, being at college for the first year, you know, first year is the hardest. You know,
Okay.
first year is all about getting that good grade, so you have a foundation to build on.
Right.
And from there, you just work up.
Okay.
But besides that, my first year, I'm happy I went through it. I made it.
Right.
That's all
So
I'm saying.
how is the culture in Morehouse? Like, is it, you know, what is it like? We know Martin Luther King.
Mhm.
I love Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King
The
went
Purpose of Education. He wrote it at Morehouse. It's a phenomenal piece for me. We use it in the BRICS program. When we talk about what the purpose of education is, he made mention that education is supposed to teach us to be able to think strategically and thoroughly, to be able to sift and weigh evidence and you know, what's right and what's wrong, what's good and what's bad, in the process of just making decisions. And that how the world can throw so many different things at you, distractions and so forth, to whereas if you're not paying attention, if you're unable to think strategically and, you know, and critically, that those distractions can throw you off course and have you doing some other stuff. So, you know, the purpose of education, the whole Morehouse thing,
Oh,
I'm with it. So what's the culture like? Because me and Charles, we want to, we thinking about going. So,
You know, Morehouse, one thing they teach is they're producing leaders.
leadership.
Leadership. That's one of our goals. Is a Morehouse man is supposed to embody leadership to give back to community in terms of service.
Right. Okay.
So, you know, the stuff they give us is hard. You know, it's not easy.
Right.
There's a certain reason why they come at us the way they do. I mean, our orientation is a whole week because they teach us what is a Morehouse man.
Okay.
Why is he so different from any other man?
Okay.
And what he is supposed to embody: truth, awareness, honesty, discipline, you know, respect, integrity,
Right.
faith, focus. What is he supposed to embody?
Wow.
And for a whole week, we have to go through that. We have to sing the college hymn, because the college hymn, it tells so much. So the whole atmosphere, the whole structure behind it is, if you're here, you're going to be a Morehouse man.
Wow.
And that whole forward journey is, what are you going to embody?
Okay. We're gonna run to a quick commercial. We're gonna come back with that because Charles, I see where you are, and it was just a lot of stuff going on right there. So we're gonna go to commercial. We're gonna come right back. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Guys, ready for the show? Yeah. Enjoy it.
And we are back. This is a great conversation that we're having, and of course, you know, I'm still in workshop mode. I did a presentation earlier today, and we really had a chance to discuss with the young men what's your purpose, and really understanding who you are as an individual. You know, what gives your life meaning. And before we went to commercial break, Phil, you know, hit us, excuse me, with some great leadership characteristics. So I want to kind of come to Charles here and see what characteristics you believe that you hold as a leader, and really what does that mean to you, leadership?
I think leadership means being able to do the right things and knowing what to do at the right time.
Wow. Okay. That's it? There's got to be more. What position do you play?
Shooting guard.
Shooting guard.
Yeah.
So what are the leadership capabilities of a shooting guard when he's on the court?
Really, he's just gotta do what he's gotta do.
Okay. And what does that entail?
Like when we're down, you have to play. Say the person you're guarding is scoring a lot. You have to complete. You have to do your best to try and make sure he doesn't. You have to do your best to try and lock him up.
Okay. So defense.
And when you see your team is becoming disoriented and not working right, you have to try and rally them up and get them going. Try to get the momentum back on your side.
Okay. So how do you really do that?
I try to rile, like, if I'm playing in the game, I try to rile my team up and tell them, like, hey, let's go, let's run this play, let's do that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you kind of take charge of the situation
Yeah,
because you're probably like me, you don't like to lose.
definitely not. I hate
Okay.
to lose.
All right. So, what do you do as an offensive player when it comes to having to take the leadership position on your team?
I try to get people going.
Try to get them going. How do you do that?
I try to give them good looks. Try to create some space and stuff. Try to create some space between my defender. Try to get the attention drawn on me, and try to pass the ball to the open people.
Okay. Okay. So that's leadership. That's a whole lot of leadership. And I remember when I was playing ball, the point guard's job is so important because he basically sees the floor. He's the general. And although the shooting guard's job is just as important because, again, he has the ability to be the outside threat as well as the inside threat. So, and I remember that you finished off with these skills, to be able to have the agility, to be able to read the defense and know, I'll never forget this playing ball, take what they give you. Instead of forcing it in. If they're giving you the jump shot, be able to take the jump shot. If they're giving you, if they're playing up close and you can, beat them off the dribble, then you beat them off the dribble. So knowing the difference. A lot of people, just play ball to play ball. They don't read the defenses and so forth. And I wasn't sure, are you aware of the amount of math that's involved in basketball?
Actually, not really.
Okay.
Everything that I do is based off of practice
Okay.
and kind of instinct.
Okay. So, and it's funny because I'm kind of thinking of what Phil was talking about and how, difficult college was and so on and so forth. And I'm trying to, because there's a gap here. You're still in high school. He's already in college. So a lot of things that he's experienced, you haven't. And then the focus that you have is, phenomenal as far as I'm concerned. And he's like, where'd you get that from? So it's a beautiful gap because, we're sitting here learning from each other. But, do you have an off the backboard shot?
No.
No?
No.
That's math. How high do you jump?
I jump a couple feet off the ground.
Okay, that's math. Timing. Putting it through your legs, being able to read the defense, knowing when to reach and when not to reach, and waiting sometimes. It's all mathematics. And I know I believe it. And I know that Ted, who's not here, believes it as well. That if you can play ball, then you're really a mathematician. If you can play sports, you're really a mathematician. If you think about the baseball player, the ball is traveling at 90 miles an hour. That's pretty fast. And then it might curve or something. So the hand-eye coordination, that's timing, that's great math. So just for you, Charles, that may be something that you may want to investigate in your academic studies simply because you may have a gift for math that you haven't released yet. But you do have, again, you have not just the numbers, but because basketball is also about rhythms, but you have the rhythm. So there may be something there with music or understanding notes or something to that degree. So I know at 15 years old, I wasn't even thinking about what my purpose was or what it would be, or even some of the gifts. I just knew that, I played, I was a drummer. I played, the drums. And I thought that was about it. But there were some things waiting on me later on down the line that were a phenomenal piece. So, which brings me here today. So, going back to Philip, the Morehouse piece, getting in there. You wasn't in the mindset of where Charles was. So what was that about?
The transition from the mindset from high school to
The transition, yeah.
it is a huge transition because college is like high school on major steroids, but after college, it's the workforce, it's the real world.
Okay.
It's not this ain't you come home to mommy daddy. No, you don't go to college. You can't do what you always wanted to do. You can't get your own place. hang out with your own friends on your own time, make the money you want, drive the cars you want. Don't even think about trying to get a girlfriend, because if you ain't got no house, you live with your mom. I mean,
Right. Well, people do it.
people
But-
do it, but you know,
Right.
you don't never experience that sense of freedom you want.
Okay. So what made you shift? Because on Fridays you was that dude. You was hanging out. Everybody knew you in the community. You was hanging out. So what moved you from that to go to college? But better yet, why Morehouse?
Well, first, I'm still with the first question. What made me happy was that, you know, it's for some people we're late bloomers. You know, we need the situation in order to happen. That's what happened to me.
Okay.
You know, 9th grade is like, you know, what, 12th grade is like, what, 3 years away? I got time.
Right.
10th grade, you know, 2 years away, I got time. 11th grade, oh wow, you know,
I'm almost here.
I'm almost there. It's that 1 year, and these 2 years flew by quick. And you know, reality hit me. Like, you know, Phil, you want to be the same person. You know, you want to be Craig and Smokey, even though I didn't smoke. You know,
Right.
I just like to chill.
Right.
Or you always wanted to do what you've always wanted to do. I always wanted to go see the world. But one thing I had to realize is that at the end of the day, the door to that is knowledge, is education. And I started taking education seriously. And when I started to study every subject, I just liked it. I like chemistry, but I'm not a chemist. I could talk to you about different reactions, single displacement, double displacement, the periodic table. I could talk to you about math. I could talk to you about trigonometric functions. I could talk to you about social economics. I could talk to you about the law of supply, the law of demand, quantity, supply, quantity. I could talk to you about that because I just love it. Because with knowledge, it comes freedom but self-liberation. You realize that there's a whole bunch of different doors that you could just walk through. And that's how I shifted. But why Morehouse is that, first, I applied to SUNY and CUNY. They didn't even want me. I'm gonna be honest.
I wonder why.
I was like, yo, you know what? Well, but then when I applied to Moore, my mom said, Phil, you know, you should check out this college named Morehouse. You know, it's all the way in the South. You know, they have your major, but, you know, just check it out. You know, I checked it out, and, you know what? At first I wasn't digging it, but, you know, I went there mostly because it was the only college that accepted me. So I had no choice but to go.
Wow.
I mean, Morehouse wasn't even on my top, like 5. It was more like 6, 7.
Okay, so do you know why they accepted you?
There are times when I don't know, but in my opinion, you know, I went to an alumni meeting in Manhattan when I was in 12th grade. It was in February. We went to the city, went to Manhattan. I met the president himself.
Okay.
I met the head of admissions, and I just talked to him, and I could just look in his eyes. He's like, yo, this dude, and he's serious, you know. And he just told me, you know, just give me your resume, give me your transcript, give me all the information. I have my people look it over. Next thing I know, I get oh man, I remember that day when I walked into my house. The envelope for Morehouse was there, but it was open. I was like, what? I was like, wait, what? So
Wow.
I get there, open it, it says, congratulations, you accepted the Morehouse. Before I even look at my mom was smiling. I was like, you opened my mail and said, yeah, me and your father did, but we wanted you to see for yourself.
Right. Beautiful.
But going there for the first year, I realized, you know, I was meant to go to Morehouse, you know. They build character. They build leaders.
Okay.
And I realized, like, you know, I fit in perfectly here, man. It's not because we're all black, and even though there's a lot of white guys on campus.
Right.
You know, it's just that one place you feel like you belong there.
Okay.
So that's just it.
All right. You see the game unfolding?
The game unfolds. Yeah.
The game is unfolding. So what I'm gathering here, because I know we're going to get a commercial sooner or later. Focus, you have it. Hard work, you can do it. Determination is there. And the greatest piece is the gift and the skill. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back from this next commercial. You guys are good. The boy's good.
Hi, I'm Tom Mealy from Madhousetv, and when I'm not at the studio, I'm here at the Harrison Law Group. This is my real job. And this January 2015, Brett and I are putting together a show called Legal Straight Talk. It'll be aired on Cablevision as well as here at Madhousetv. You need to tune in. This information that we're going to be giving the public is the real deal. It's all about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So tune in this January 2015 for a new episode of Legal Straight Talk.
After all the candles are blown out, after the last toast of the night, Cambridge paving stones with ArmorTech stand the test of time. Beautifully designed, built to last. Only Cambridge paving stones have ArmorTech, our unique process that produces a rich, distinctive color. Create your own memories with Cambridge paving stones. Visit CambridgePavers.com.
Cambridge paving stones with ArmorTech will always look like new.
Stretching under sedation or manipulation under anesthesia is a very gentle, very precise procedure to very slowly release any scar tissue that is formed as a result of a traumatic injury. Many people ask, how does this work? Will I get hurt? Will you stretch me too far? We only stretch the body part to its normal range of motion. After completing the post-MUA rehabilitation program, it's very common that our patients say to us, hey, I can play ball with my kid again. Hey, I can bowl again. Hey, I can enjoy hiking again. This is what makes it rewarding to us as practitioners.
And we have returned with this awesome conversation that we're having with Charles and Philip. And Philip is a beast. I don't care how you look at it. He's just like, when you're talking about the studying, and in my mind, I'm like, oh my goodness, this guy, he's really, really crazy. And in a good way, though. Crazy, we have a terminology that we use, crazy in a good way. And Charles, I know that you're getting a lot, because I'm sure as a 15-year-old, you're not hanging around with a bunch of 19-year-olds talking about, college and education and so on and so forth. So we're really, really hoping that you're able to glean information and understand processes and different things that, that kind of go. You almost get in the college experience without the college experience, being still in high school. So it's a good thing. Most people don't really start to think about college until their junior year. And so it's good that you be able to get that. So, but getting back to the leadership piece, because I'm ready to go to Morehouse. I think Charles, if he found out that I was playing and saying, "Yo, let's go to Morehouse, we'll do it together," and he come down and be the shooting guard, I'll be the small forward, and we do what we do. Leadership, and Charles, you have a couple of siblings. So that makes you the oldest?
Yeah.
That makes you the leader. So what is it like being an older brother? What do you have? Sisters?
Yeah.
Brothers?
Sisters, two sisters.
Two sisters. So what is it like being the leader of two sisters? Like, what's that like?
There's good and then there's bad.
Okay.
The good is, well, they listen to you.
Okay.
You kind of have a little bit of authority over them. And you get to take them out and spend time with them by yourself. The bad is kind of everything you do, it reflects upon them. So if you do something bad, they're gonna think that's okay, and they're gonna try and do that too.
Wow.
It's kind of like the responsibility. You have to set the example.
Okay. So is that difficult? Or I guess at times it is, but at times it's not.
Yeah.
Does it make you feel like you're bottled up? or does it make you feel like I have to stand up?
I mean, at times, it does make me feel like I'm bottled up, and then there are times where I feel like I have to stand up and do the right thing. So my sisters will do the right thing when they have to do what they do.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, do you guys don't go to the same school? They're younger than you,
No,
or whatever. So, do you feel like a big brother all the time, or just when you want to pick up the big brother?
I mean, I feel like a big brother when I do want to pick it up.
Okay. Okay. So, but they depend on you.
Yeah.
They lean on you.
Yeah.
They need you to be able to make the basket when the score is
Clutch.
Right. Make those clutch shots. Okay, and you seem to be making them. That's good, man. I am so proud of you, man. You have no idea, man. Again, I'm reminiscing back to when I was 15, and of course I was great, but I could have been greater, and I see that greatness in you, and I believe that whatever it is that you're going to lock into, and you will lock into something, and something I learned. We had a conversation once about Russell Simmons. And the conversation was he went from music to fashion and then, into philanthropy with the Arts Foundation. I think it's Rush Foundation or something or other. He does media now. And people were talking about, the question was, why did Russ go from this to that? What happened to make him go from this to that, to make him sell out and say, okay, I'm done with this. This is what I want to do. And then was it based on him being, Russell Simmons and I can do whatever I want and this is what I want to do and see if I'm good at it? Or was it something else? And after a pretty decent sized debate, and Russell wasn't in the room, so it was all speculation to begin with, it dawned on me that perhaps Russell didn't stop music to do fashion because that's where the money was. Russell didn't stop doing fashion to go into philanthropy because that's where the money was. I believe that Russell went through those stages and through those changes simply because his purpose changed. When he was in the music, that was his purpose, to start that. And then when he went into fashion and, hip hop, trendy fashion or whatever, that was his purpose at the time, simply because it wasn't really just about the fashion, but it was about a look and a lifestyle. It's always been about a lifestyle for Russ, at least from what I know and what I've read. But then for him to go into philanthropy and help with, the Rockefeller Law and the work that he's done as an advocate and so on and so forth. Now he's got the global grind and everything, and it's like, his purpose changed as opposed to him being finicky about what he wanted to do. So I definitely wanted to say to you, Charles, that I'm not worried about you at this point not being specific about what it is that you want to do besides the basketball thing. Because I know that with the growing of you, of Charles, and with you understanding more and so on and so forth, that other things are going to come around and something is going to touch inside. And I know that you'll discover meaning, you'll discover purpose, and it'll be something that you're just driven to do, along with. And again, I believe in the basketball piece simply because it offers you, if you're good enough, it's free college. And then you're able to take advantage of your ability in one thing in order to gain something, almost for free. Because once you sign on the dotted line in college, especially on a scholarship, you're there. It's a whole different, it's another big brother responsibility. It's all about leadership. And I do a presentation called The Limelight is Dangerous. The Limelight is Dangerous. And it's funny how people can they can expect more from you than they expect from themselves. So just their level of expectation on what Charles is going to become, or what Philip is going to do, or what you're supposed to do in any given situation is really, really crazy. And the media blows things out of proportion And, you know, so it's just to be mindful, you know, to a word to you both, that the limelight can be dangerous. I heard 50 Cent say, you know, social media is dangerous if you don't use it properly. So these are things that are on the back end of leadership, because like you said, your sisters are always watching, and you have to set an example for them, even when you don't think that they're watching or listening, but they could be, because you don't want them to make those type of decisions. So it's like you always have to be conscious of the choices and the decisions that you make. And I can definitely see for you, Philip, that since you've been at Morehouse, and I've known you, you know, it's almost a cheat move that I've known you for so long, and I've been able to watch you grow and watch you change. And it's a phenomenal piece for me too, because I really like to feel like I've been a part of that growth and development, and you being the individual that you are today. Have you opened up the book that I gave you?
Oh no, I haven't got to that yet.
Haven't
But I
gotten
will.
to it.
But I will get to it.
Okay, all right. Now, I gave Philip a book. It's boring. It's boring. But what I learned is the same thing that he learned, the same thing that you know, and you're going to learn it even deeper. The mind or the brain is just like any other muscle, just like any other skill. Once you begin to work it, you become better at it, even to the degree that you become so good at it that it's second nature. Going to your left, you're right-handed, so going to your left is almost second nature. I know it was for me, and you know, I just played with it. I say that to say, once you start knowing, and once you start learning, it almost seems to be an inner mechanism that clicks, and you can't stop. You can't stop. When I watch movies now, it's about, you know, I do it for the entertainment, but if there's an opportunity for me to learn, I learn. I take notes. I have mentors and so forth. When I'm on the telephone and I'm having conversations, I take notes. I learned that writing things down automatically inscripts it on the brain is easy to retain and so forth. And I value information much more now than I did when I was younger, because, you know, I was one, you know, definitely out there hanging out in the streets, running around and not taking life serious. And I thought it had a lot to do with me being the baby of the family, because, you know, I was spoiled rotten, which was a good thing. So, but besides all of that, I want to talk to you guys briefly about the BRICS program. And in accordance to exactly what you were talking about, especially with how Morehouse develops the character in men, building BRICS. BRICS is the acronym for brotherhood, relationships, and those relationships are how to deal with women, how to have healthy relationships with women free from domestic violence, integrity, character, knowledge, education. Doesn't necessarily mean academic education, all different forms of education, as well as synergy, meaning that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. We're stronger together than we are individually. Teamwork, so to speak. So, in today's society, you know, Black Lives Matter, racism is prevalent. What do you guys see or feel from any of that? And Philip is thinking deep, so I'm gonna hit you, Charles. What do you know? What's going on? You're reading it in the papers, in the media. People are protesting. You know, what's going through your mind? Racism? Do you really understand it?
I understand a little of it.
A little of it. Okay.
That I know it isn't right. I understand it isn't right, and I understand everybody should be treated equal, and everybody should treat others how they want to be treated. That's how I think the bottom line of it is. It doesn't matter what your skin is or your ethnicity of anything. I just think that everybody should treat each other how they want to be treated.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. So we're going to kick off with that and head to a brief commercial. It got deep and eerie and silent in here, and that was a good thing. So great point. But we're going to run to commercial, and we'll be right back.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
After all the candles are blown out, after the last toast of the night, Cambridge paving stones with ArmorTech stand the test of time. Beautifully designed, built to last. Only Cambridge paving stones have ArmorTech, our unique process that produces a rich, distinctive color. Create your own memories with Cambridge paving stones. Visit CambridgePavers.com.
Cambridge paving stones with ArmorTech will always look like new.
Time to make the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh. I made the donuts. We make them at least twice every day. Time to make the donuts. Not a few kinds, like supermarket. Made the donuts. Time to make the donuts. But up to 52 varieties. The donuts. Time to make the donuts. I made the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts, up to 52 varieties, fresh day and night. No supermarket can say.
You know you already want a Toyota, but when you want more from your Toyota store, you want Smithtown Toyota, where every Toyota comes with Smithtown Toyota's Toyota for Life program, giving you lifetime New York State inspections, lifetime 10% discounts on all parts and service, 2 years of complimentary oil changes, 2 years of scheduled maintenance, and more, all at no cost to you, plus low clear-out deals on every Toyota in stock. Get more from your Toyota store. Hurry to Smithtown Toyota.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, GMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with your one and only Madhouse TV. You are the man.
And we are back. And it was really funny. We were just discussing how serious it got when we start talking about the Black Lives Matter thing. So, and it's something that we've been kind of conversing with, dealing with the BRICS program, and because we talk about racism, we talk about propaganda, we talk about some things, and Charles made an interesting point about it shouldn't be like that. So I have a question. Do you feel it where you live? Do you feel aspects of racism or prejudice, people treating you differently because of the color of your skin?
I live in Brentwood, so it's not really a white or black thing. It's kind of a black and Spanish thing. I come to the court, and I usually go to the court to play basketball. I come to the court, and they look at me weird when I ask them to play. Do they want to play a game? It's usually either they're intimidated or they just don't want to play. Usually that's how it is.
Okay. What about school or at the store or anything?
I did have a situation at school where a Caucasian girl called me the N-word, and there was this whole big thing about it.
Right. How did you handle it? How did that
I mean, I was angry.
Okay.
I felt like giving her back what she was giving me.
Okay.
But I realized instead of doing all that and making things worse on myself, I should just consult an administrator and have them deal with the problem.
Wow. Okay. So is that the N-word? Is that something that you use with your friends and so forth? So like, or I don't know.
I am 15.
Okay. Yeah. No, I respect it, bro. I know what the culture is.
I do hang out with a lot of people, and yeah, I use it sometimes.
Okay.
In a friendly terms.
So what made it different with her using it? It just because of she was.
It's the words she said around it.
Oh.
It's the words she said around.
She didn't say it the way you say it.
She didn't say it the way I said it.
Right.
The words she said around it.
Right. So as opposed to when you say it with your friends, it's almost like a blanket of love. But
Yeah.
when she said it was more like a stick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Do you still use the word?
Not as much.
Not as much.
Not as
You
much.
learned something from it.
Yeah.
What was the most important thing you got from that?
That it came from it was originally used as a hate word, and that it shouldn't be used the way I use it.
Right. Okay. All right. We might get you to say that again on the grand stage. Do you do the pants low down too? Uh-oh, here we go. We're getting somewhere now.
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Do you? Why?
It's
I'm asking that for all the people in America
It's a
right
fashion
now.
thing.
Why? It's a fashion
It's
thing.
a fashion thing.
I remember I was just telling somebody. I tell so many people so many different things. When I was growing up, we used to wear the BVD boxers, right? They had a little material, a little silk type of material. So we get the shirt and the bottoms, right? And we put it on. We tuck the shirt inside the bottoms and let it kind of blouse out a little bit. That was cool. But our pants weren't down on, and we got flack from that, our parents, whatever, what have you. So I'm saying, like, what is it with, the buns hanging out? My man, Shandu, he did a wonderful, wonderful presentation at the BRICS conference based on that and how it wasn't cool. But I want, from your perspective, like, what's the deal on that?
I mean, it's kind of a fashion thing. It's not a moral thing. It's just a fashion thing.
Okay.
There are certain types of pants where you do wear, like, there's certain brands of True Religion where you do sag your pants and it makes them look better. Makes them look more baggy. Makes them look better. There are certain times where you shouldn't hang your pants when you're wearing, like, tight briefs. I've seen that. That's not good at all.
Right. Is it something that the ladies like? Or, I mean, is it for the fellas? Or is it for the fellas and the ladies? Or is it for the ladies? Like, who's it for?
I have met of some girls that actually said they think it's cute, but for me, it's just, when I was younger, I always seen the older kids do it, and I thought that was cool.
Okay.
So that's what I started doing.
Okay.
And now it's kind of becoming a habit.
Okay. Did you know or did you notice that it makes people walk different? Like, if you've been sagging for, let's just say, 2 years, that you now walk with your feet pointed out, and if you put on a suit to go to a job interview or something, that the effects of you sagging is seen in the suit, even though you're not sagging. It's in the walk.
I've seen it in people, but
Uh-huh.
personally, that doesn't happen to me because I
Okay.
can sag on occasions.
Right. Oh, on occasions, you
On
pick and
occasions.
choose.
Yeah, I pick and choose.
Oh, okay. Where do you do it and where do you not?
I don't do it when it has to be the right thing. If I'm hanging out with my friends and we're just walking around,
Yeah.
I sag my pants.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just for the setting.
Right.
But if I'm in school and I'm about to talk to the administrator,
Right.
if I'm about to talk to the principal, I gotta pull them up.
Well, you
and
jump
look
off
at
top. I'm getting ready to take you on tour, man. I'm getting ready to take you on tour. We're accomplishing things. Yo, this show today is going viral. I'm taking you on tour. That right there, that's beautiful. Again, I don't have a problem with you doing anything. Young people doing anything. You just have to know when to do it, man. There's a place to do it and there's a place to not to do it, man. And man, if you can't do it at home, it makes no sense. You represent your family, man, when you're unbelievable, man. I love you, bro. I don't even know where we was. Let's get out of here. Before we go, Phil, tell me about this racism thing. And it has to be in about 4 minutes because I got to give our sponsors like crazy props for today's show.
I'll keep it short. For me, being in the South, it has a heavy rooted racism.
Mm-hmm.
One thing my teacher said is that this racism it's not forced, it's voluntary. It's voluntarily. As in, if you choose to act ignorant, you're ignorant. It's gonna show. But if you choose to obtain knowledge, wisdom, it'll show. For me, with racism, the people in the South, they ask you, they'll ask you about stereotypes. Like, why do black people, why do black girls always get weaves? Why do they? Because it's happened before. Girls from Florida telling me, why do you guys sag your pants? And it's not that they're being racist. They just want to know why. Because they want to know that, they want to know it from a primary source. They don't want to know from someone else's experience. They want their own. Right. And I've experienced racism a couple of times. I mean, when I go to Georgia Tech, Georgia State, and I go to one of the frat parties, and like 10 of my friends, me and my homies, we going there to roll up, we got to go in 4 at a time because they get real scared. It's like, oh, a bunch of black guys. Oh, no, we got to keep it 4 down at a time. And I've been stopped by the police before, probably for racial issues. Because, when in Jamaica, Queens, when you go to the terminal, and I'm going into the train station, not out of it, it's like, oh, where's this kid going? No, they stopped me. I pulled out my ID, told them where I was going. But for me, I haven't experienced racism on his level because of what I know.
Okay.
So that's why I say it's voluntarily. If you choose to be ignorant, you'll be treated like you're ignorant. But if you choose to obtain knowledge, you won't get the same thing.
So, quickly, do you feel that you do something like me? I don't wear hoodies in the winter because 6'5", 260. I'm the profile. Do you do anything or dress a certain way in order to prevent that, knowing on where you're going?
Definitely. Well, anywhere I go, period, my pants are always up.
Okay.
I do wear a hoodie, but the hoodie's always open, so I can take it off anytime.
Okay.
The way I dress up too, I dress up to match.
Okay.
I don't wear not a lot of name brand stuff.
Okay.
I don't wear a lot of the popular trends.
Okay.
So this way, it's not that the police are not only off my back, it's regular people, because people are always looking to jack you.
Right. Okay.
So I'll wear the second, maybe the third best thing.
Okay.
Something everybody got, and
Right.
everybody still respects.
Okay.
So that this way I'm not.
That's smart.
So this way everybody's not looking at me, but you know what? Everybody still respects me because of what I got on.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Charles? You do you find yourself wearing certain things in order to keep the perception of the black man, at bay, where you don't get stereotyped or
For
encounter
me,
racism? Yeah.
I wear what I have.
Okay.
I wear, if it's cold outside and it's cold outside and it's snowing, I
Right.
have to wear a hoodie. If it's not and I'm getting chilly and my ears get cold, I have to wear a hoodie. I wear what I have.
Right.
It's not a choice of what I want to wear.
Right.
It's kind of, if it's cold, I have to wear that jacket.
Beautiful. I am sitting here with 2 millionaires to be because they know how to live within their means and they're not influenced by the societal or the youth cultural perspective to dress in a certain way. So I would never see you guys in the big crowd buying a pair of Jordans, $250.
Remember that.
Y'all, love you, brothers. We want to thank you guys for joining us on the show. I really have to give a big, huge shout out to our sponsors, Shavana and Roger Johnson, from All About Us, Teen Talk Magazine, Teen Talk TV. They're doing a wonderful job. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and we're looking to take it to the next level. Please join the shows. You can get them on AAU. AllAboutUs.com, and they're everywhere. All you have to do is really just do a look. All About Us. It's all about us. It's all about us. We building bricks, one brick at a time. I love you, brothers. Thank you so much for being on the show. And you don't have to tell me how great I am.
Oh, you're great, dude.
Yeah.
You're great, man.
Thanks for coming out. All right, we wrapping it up.